Hello, and thank you for tuning in. Hope you're doing well wherever you are, whenever you find yourself listening to this message, I guess. I am going to be sharing this time around the last of the zodiac signs for the Living by the Moon series, which is Pisces. Okay, so we're going to go over the Pisces sign, and then I will be posting kind of a summary on the moon signs and going through the book. By the way, the reference that I'm using is written by Stephanie Gailing, and her last name is spelled Gailing. And so, again, thank you so much. I hope you're doing well wherever you are, whatever you find yourself doing. That it is to your best interest, and you are focused on being your highest, truest, purest self here, and religion is no longer a tool in your arsenal, or you're getting rid of all those religious tools. It's a constant and it's a daily work. It's like a relationship. A relationship is work. So if you don't want to be in a relationship, or if you don't want that kind of work in your life, then you should not seek a relationship, because a relationship should not be a lounge chair. Okay, a relationship is work. Okay. Okay, so Pisces, all right? So Pisces, we know you are represented, your symbol, as a pair of fish, right? Bound together, yet swimming in separate directions, symbolizing the integration of the spiritual and the material worlds, which is good. Again, you need the balance, right? Pisces, you are one of the third, I believe, in the 12 zodiac signs that carry the dual planetary rulers, Scorpio and Pisces, Scorpio, and there's another. Let me take a look. Aquarius. Is that it? I think it's Aquarius. Let me see. Yeah, because I think I read it the other day. Let me find it here. Yep. Okay. So those are the three: Aquarius, Pisces, and Scorpio, that carry the dual sign for the planetary rulers. So Jupiter, which represents growth, fortune, faith, and broad understanding, and Neptune, which inspires unity, transcendence, and connection to the numinous. Okay. Water element, of course, fluidity, emotionality, reflection, and non-linear understanding. Okay, so it's important to think outside the box, Pisces. You have to, it's important for you to think outside the box. And again, I have Pisces in my top as my ascendant sign. So Pisces is my ascendant sign. And so I know that a lot of this will speak to me, as we've seen and I've shared over the other 11 zodiac signs. Okay, so your modality prizes flexibility, adaptability, and movement. Okay, so let's get going here. Essential needs: letting yourself dream, Pisces. Sometimes the walkabout world feels uninspiring to someone with a Pisces moon. You long for a world infused with technicolor vibrancy, steeped in beauty, kindness, and love. Unfortunately, reality sometimes doesn't meet your ideal, and I have found that out in the last 3 years, that I often say, and it really is a spiritual principle, that you are what you attract. So if you are not healed, which I was not at the time when I met her, so I was not healed, I was unaware of any childhood wound that I had even had, right? I knew that it would have been nice for him to show up to more basketball games or more football games or more award ceremonies, or show some more support as far as my academics and things like that, rather than just disciplining me when I didn't get a grade that was pleasing to him. You should never discipline a child for not getting good grades. You need to find out why the child isn't comprehending. right? I almost called parents DAs. For those of us who are familiar with alphanumeric, I almost said Delta Alpha. So I'm trying to get away from the profanity. All right, as a way of expressing the anger and frustration I feel with the dumbass systems of society. And yet, with your vivid imaginative capacities and abilities to seemingly travel to different worlds, you can tap into a sea of inspiration that nurture your heart and soul. As you allow your mind to drift, you may deceive nuanced insights that inform you as to how you want to live your life. And that's what I do. So I pay attention. I'm an observer. I look at people like, that was the result of that. I wonder what thought process went into that. I wonder what thought process went into that. I can tell you this, the worst decisions that I've made for the first 46 years and 9 months of my life. In the past 2.5 years, I can truly say I've not made many mistakes. Part of that is for the last 14 months, 15 months, I've really been kind of to myself. Even when I was still in Florida. I only, for 2023, starting in 2022, I really only went to necessary appointments, whether those were VA medical appointments or if I should happen to have a client back then. I had one or two before the demonic group of people who I thought were friends in Central Florida decided to do whatever they decided to do and take all of that from me. Otherwise, I went to the store and that was it. Because once I realized that there was something in me at the end of 2021 that was not okay, I had to, it was up to me to soldier up. Nobody was going to do it for me. I had to do the work myself, right? And that's for all of us. No one's gonna heal you if you don't want to be healed. Okay? Okay? Anyone who gets healed has to believe themselves, not the person who is doing the healing. Okay? So your Reiki healer might be able to help some things, but you are responsible for you. Okay? So you need to carry on whatever advice or whatever that Reiki healer gives you so that you can continue to heal yourself, as an example, right? Same thing with a natural doctor, with a 3D doctor, right? Although with those, I would be a bit more skeptical and I would do my research to find out the side effects of the crap that they're prescribing to you, okay? Okay? Because swelling up and looking like a pumpkin, there has to be a natural alternative to that. It making you drowsy to where you can't function and not do your job and not earn resources for your family, for yourself. There has to be a natural alternative to that comes up from the ground or from a tree. There has to be. There has to be. Okay? Okay. So radiating love. You swim in vast oceans of emotions and tenderness, and caring are some of your favorite waves to surf. As you have a talent for understanding and the innate goodness that resides in everyone, you'll be able to tap into an almost superhuman capacity to forgive, and that is me. I forgave the sperm donor for taking my wife. Again, you guys hear me say this all the time. And again, I reiterate these things not to prove that, look what I did. I say these things to show you guys that there's proof, and look, you can do this. You can get beyond the divorce that broke your heart. You were in love. You thought they were the love of your life. You can get past that, right? You had kids you can get past that. They took half the income. You can get past that. They took the house. They got the kids. You can get past that. You can get past all of that. Okay? You can get past all of that. Okay? I've had some pretty large darts thrown at me in 49 years. Here I am. And so, forgive easily. Forgive, no matter, obviously, no matter what your zodiac signs are. Forgive easily. And forgiveness is for the forgiver, not the forgiven. Okay? So you are asking forgiveness. You are asking for yourself to heal. You are asking forgiveness so that you can move on. Okay? And so you can forgive without ever receiving an apology. I've forgiven everybody, from the senior ministers at the Rock of Central Florida to the people who were there who he didn't believe me were involved in this stuff when I tried to tell him through an email. All of it's forgiven. I can't say I wouldn't punch him in the fucking face if he showed up in front of me today. I can't say that. Most High would really have to restrain me, because I'd really want to beat his ass, because he calls himself a leader. He calls himself a minister, one who hears and obeys Most High, and he is not. He didn't know the truth if it smacked him upside the face and it was ice cold. He wouldn't know it. Okay? And whoever is a part of that or whatever, and they happen to be listening, or they know I have this platform and they listen in, I'll tell them to his face. He already knows. We've had many personal conversations. I've said, Steve, I'm a fighter. I typically am a man of few words. Someone standing in front of my face, I'm not there to debate. I'm there to whoop some ass. I'm not there to talk. Okay? And that's how I was as a kid. I didn't have time. Why did you do that? Why did you push my sister? Why'd you push my... And I don't have time to talk. There's no time for debate at that time. We need to solve something. Okay? So take that as you will. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've forgiven him. I just know that he is not saying the truth. And so if I share that with him, what other things what else is he missing in the guidance of those people because of a religious system? And he's only using Genesis to Revelation when there are 45 other books and so much else. What about the time before Christ? Okay. No one talks about that. What about Methuselah and Methuselah's the grandfather of Adam? And what happened when Methuselah died? Well, when Methuselah died, right, that's when the great flood happened. That's when Noah started building the ark. I might have said Adam, Methuselah, but it's Noah. Okay, but so that's when Noah started building the ark, right? Noah is Methuselah's grandson. Okay, why are these things not being discussed, and why are we not going into our ancestry spiritually and finding out where do they come from, and our lineage, and I don't know, mine's Egyptian, so I'm learning about mine. So who is Mayat? Who is Sekhmet? Who is this? Huh? Who's Oshun? Right? Finding these things out. This is where spiritual leaders need to be guiding the people. Not God, Christ died for your sins, you need to repent so that you can go to heaven. No. The kingdom is within you. That's why Yeshua said when he was ascending, and the 12 apostles, they're not disciples, they were 12 apostles, they were standing there looking up at the sky, and he was like, what are you doing? Stop looking up here. Get to work. You stand here gazing up at me. What are you looking at? You're in awe. You need to be trying to be about your Father's business. You need to get busy. Okay, I left you with instructions. What are you doing? Right? Anyway. I digress. Oh, man. When you're passionate about something, it's tough to control it. It just comes through. Yeah, I can't help myself. I'm sorry. And I'm also not sorry. Okay, so connecting to the magic. You're magnetized to experience the magic you perceive inherent in the world, drawn to events that leave you feeling buoyant and effervescent. As you find glamour really captivating, whether it's enjoying fancy cocktails or 5-star hotel or losing yourself in a stack of fashion magazines. You will be charmed by experiences that seem to transcend mundane reality. And one thing I do not like is mundane. I don't like mundane. I'm way too much fire to like mundane. I wasn't built that way. I wasn't created to like mundane. And And again, that also needs to be managed, because again, there are many, I have so many examples of when I went so fast that I didn't see all the indicators, or I missed stuff because I was so eager to go, I can't tell you, I can't. So today, right, as passionate as I am, right, and now that I'm awakened spiritually and my third eye's open, my crown's open, right, I get have conversations with Most High all day, every day, right, and with my angels and ancestors all day, every day, right, ascend light workers, star seeds, all day, every day conversations, Orishas all day, every day, right, Egyptian ancestors all day, every day conversations, right, and so as I do this, I definitely can see, actually, let me say, it helps me to be more calm in the 3D, in the matrix, when I know that I have control of the 5D. And that's the in me, okay? That's the in here. And that is the source. The 3D, what we see out here, is not the source. That's not the power. That's not the power. Man says, if you get the money, you get the power. That might be true for people who are blind and voting for narcissistic, karmic people or situations, right? But not for those who have chosen to go the way of spirituality and get away from religion and crush that bug, because that's all it is. Religion is a bug. The Roman Catholic Church, when Methuselah passed, at 969 years old, the Roman Catholic Church got the Bible, and when they started to take over, they got rid of everything. They changed words. They got rid of scriptures. They used words that they wanted to use rather than the words that were actually printed on the scribes or scrolls. That's what they did. And so they comprised this book, Vatican. They comprised this book that we walk around and carry, and we call the Bible because we think it's all of the Word. Do you think that the Father would tell you something so little about something so significant? So let's just take Adam and Eve, for example. Do you believe that the Creator, divine source, would tell you about this man and woman He created that we are told in that book is the first? Okay, they're the first. They're not. They're the first in that book. Okay, so they tell you they're the first. Okay, then, because before Adam and Eve, we were in a different form. We were. Okay, so I apologize if you hear the music outside. It's the neighbor, and it's Friday. That's typically what they do until 12:30 in the morning or whatever. Although it's cooler tonight, so maybe they won't stay out so long. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, if you do hear that again, I apologize. And so when Methuselah passed, that's what happened. The Roman Catholic Church got rid of all of that stuff, right? And then in the 1940s or something, some archaeologists found 45 books, 1942, 45, somewhere around there. I don't know, I think, right? And that's where today, that's where we found the book of Adam and Eve. So the book you have talks about Adam and Eve, and it gives them a little bit. It gives you a little bit about their life. It talks nothing about their life after the cave. What happened to them? After the Garden of Eden. Would you not like to know? What did Adam and Eve have to go through after being evicted from the Garden of Eden? Because they lived hundreds of years after that. Hundreds of years after that. Adam lived, I have to look it up, 800, 8 something, right? So how is it possible? Oh, this is why, and I know this is a little bit away from this, but hold on. This is why, when it comes to aging, at the flood, Most High was so disgusted with man. When Methuselah died, this is why Methuselah was the last to live into the hundreds. He lived 969, and I know Most High did that on purpose. So he's lived the longest out of any, right, in recorded history. And when that the longevity, the the one with the most longevity, when he passed, isn't it interesting that then at that time, it's almost like also his patience, Most High's patience had been done away with, right? He kind of died with when Methuselah went, right? This is why today man doesn't live all of those years, because the spiritual, the flood, it and obviously the way man lives, it got rid of that. Okay, the waters, right, swelled up from the deep, and it separated the continents. That's why you put the continents together, they actually fit together like a puzzle. This is why. Okay, so yeah, I don't know why I went off on that. So yes, so all of these things that man tells us, some people are just fearful of the truth. Some people are just way too comfortable in their religious ways, and they just don't want to know the truth. They just don't want to hear the truth. They just don't. Okay? They just don't. Right? And for those people, you can't make them. My job is to not make you believe what I'm saying. My job is to help you see the truth in you through what I'm saying. That's my job. Never to convince you. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. I got the track record and report card to show what I do and what I've done. You don't have to. And it's a literal one and a spiritual one. Medical records for the healing that show there's nothing wrong. He's 100%, he's healthy as a 28-year-old, even though he's 20 years older than that, right? It's nothing, okay? So I don't have to convince anyone. I am the walking miracle. Imagination. And this is one of your superpowers, by the way, Pisces. Your imagination is one of your great gifts, allowing you to access the plethora of insights and ideas cordoned off from your rational mind. And this is the reason for meditation. And this is, again, for everyone. If you want to get away from your rational mind because you're thinking too much, you need to meditate. Okay? And I know I do this. I don't know if it's going to speak to overthinking for the Pisces moon, but I know that's a challenge for me. Right? And this is why I get bored easily with things, right? If it doesn't keep my attention, I've often looked up, or at least over the years, I've looked up I don't know what they would call, like your love interest, like kind of like your love zodiac match, like kind of thing. And it always says, if the woman cannot keep, then obviously it takes your birthday, your time of birth, blah, 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 right? Takes all that into consideration. If the woman cannot keep your interest intellectually and spiritually, you will soon grow weary and not be interested in that relationship. And I can tell you, it happens every time for me. Every time. Every time. Every time. If I see someone, I meet them, things get off going great camaraderie, blah, 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 right? Then all of a sudden, things start to kind of, cement starts to settle. And then you get kind of into your day-to-day routine, and you're kind of like, that's an interesting way to spend your extra time. You have free will, you can do that, but that's an interesting choice. Or whatever it happens to be, right? So being a celibate male today, I know for a fact that whoever that person is that's coming to me or I'm walking towards spiritually or whatever that is, that person, they have to be close to where I am spiritually. They have to be above me spiritually or where I'm at spiritually, because my right foot, unless Most High stops me, it stays on the gas. It stays on the gas. Okay, there won't be anything left on my shelves when I get done in this place. Nothing. That shelf will be bare. You will not find cobwebs. You will not find anything up there that I was supposed to take care of that I didn't and I left on the shelf. Nothing. You will not find anything on those shelves. Nothing. Okay? And so your imagination helps tremendously, because this is how you manifest. Okay, this is how we bring about those changes and things into the 3D that we want to see. So it starts in the 5D. It starts with your crown and your third eye and being aligned throughout your 7 chakras, and then your balance and making sure that you're not allowing people into your energy that doesn't deserve your attention or your unconditional love, that's not just milking you, right? You understand that you are precious and your energy space is also equally precious, and you're not just casting your pearls before swine. You're not just like casting them out just anywhere. You're not throwing them on the concrete and stuff. You can't sow a seed into the cement. What are you doing, right? So you're protecting yourself, right? And this is how, right, you can one, imagine more, right, and more intently. Okay, and don't share all of your ideas with others. That's another thing I learned. Do not share your business ideas with your friends. Don't do it. Don't do it. Unless they're already a business partner or you're asking them to come in as a business partner. And even if you do, I would really be wary of that. Really be wary of that. This might be a caution for someone. I really would. I would take a look at things and consider I would want to hire a stranger before I hired someone that I already knew. Relative or not, I'm not hiring any of my relatives. Okay? I'd hire my daughter, but I ain't hiring nobody else. I don't trust them, and yeah, I don't. Not one. Kevin, Judy, the 16 siblings I have, I don't trust any of them. None of them. And so you want to be careful of that. But your imagination, for all of us, again, is extremely, extremely powerful. I can't tell you how many vehicles I have not dreamed of or imagined myself driving all of the vehicles. I've had I want to say 30 vehicles, 29 or something vehicles. I haven't imagined myself in all of those vehicles, right? But the majority of those vehicles I have wanted at some point before I got them. Okay? The motorcycles that I've had, I wanted that motorcycle. In some cases, I wanted the motorcycle before I got it, that specific motorcycle. Right? So I might go by the showroom and looking around or whatever else. And it wasn't me thinking, maybe I had a couple minutes to burn or whatever. And I'm just like, let me just go take a look, see what they got. Right? And then I see one. Okay? So, all right. So one of the ways that you can manifest, in addition to imagination, you can do it in the 3D, and you can take that vehicle, that motorcycle, that truck, that whatever, a truck is a vehicle, for a test drive. Okay? Whether that's in your imagination or in the 3D, I do it all of the time. I do it all of the time. Okay? And so imagination is so, so, so powerful. And so, yes. Companion, okay? You see yourself in others and others in yourself. Your natural ability to stand in another's shoes gives rise to the empathic way that you interact with people. You love experiencing deep connection and understanding how someone is feeling. With your compassionate nature, you don't want to just relate with them. Really. You want to help. I don't even know. I'm not even going there. You're motivated to perform random acts of kindness that you perceive will benefit others. And that's me, right? Again, I talk about how the money I hand out, right? I have no problem giving a 10 or a 20 to some guy on the street. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Because if that's what's in my heart to do at that given time, someone asks me, you have a couple dollars for food? I'm just looking for something to eat. You know what? Come on, let's go to, look, come on. Which one of these places do you want to go to? You want to go to it? Let's go over there. Let's get you something to eat. Right? Don't expect anything back. Just unconditional love in the world. Just unconditional love in the world. Bless where I can bless. Bless where I can bless. That's it. Right? Not looking for anything in return. Most High takes care of me. Right? And here is so, man, I'm sharing all these keys here. I'm going to have to go back and look at this video and pull some of these things out and elaborate on them, because Pisces, I'm giving a lot. So one of the things that giving does that most people don't realize is, so when you give someone $1, right, homeless person, you give them $1. Bless you, sir. All right, have a great day. Bless you. Good luck. Whatever you might say. All right, don't wish them luck. Luck has nothing to do with what we do, right? Luck is not spiritual. Luck is man-made. And so, all right, bless you, sir. Right? Bless you, ma'am. All right, whatever. And then you go on your way. That seed that you sowed into that person out of the generosity of your heart might have prevented a car accident 5 minutes later, a week later, an illness, a passing of someone. You have no idea what your seed produces. No idea. Because in the natural, you can't get an apple from a pear tree. But in the spiritual, Most High can alchemize anything. Yeshua showed us that on the earth. He can alchemize anything. So you could sow $1. He could turn it into $2 or $500,000. That's his choice. All of that's based on your faithfulness to him. That's you and him, right? Just like my faithfulness is him and I. It's not based on any other man or woman. That's why man and woman, they can't mess with what's promised to you spiritually. This is why man can't mess with what's promised to you spiritually. It can only be delayed. It cannot be denied. I'm going to say it again. It can only be delayed. It cannot be denied. Okay? Your promises are your promises. Okay? So, all right. So now we're getting into some stuff. Now we're going to talk about the clear senses, because Pisces, clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentient, the clairs, not eclairs, right? Although those are sweet. These are sweeter, these types of clairs. You're quite intuitive with your ability to directly perceive insights in a way that often bypasses reasoning. This allows you to tap into an ocean of awareness that helps you navigate your life as well as guide others. Your strong sixth sense provides you with great clarity and may arise in one or several ways. Visions, clairvoyance, okay? Sound, clairaudience. Feeling, clairsentience. Smell, clairalience. Clairalience, yep. Mm-hmm. And then, or taste, clairgustance. Okay, so I know since my awakening, I definitely pick up smells, and those smells deal with whatever's going on in life at that time, right? So, or whoever's trying to reach me, spiritually speaking, right? So there are times when I smell my grandparents' house, the sperm donor's parents' house. Okay, I remember during the 7 years, so I'm saying a lot. So during there was a time period after the sperm donor took my wife and daughter. I did not see any of them. I didn't even know where they were. They had left the state of Florida from 2003 to 2010. I did not know where they were. Okay. All right. I went by the house that they were known to be in, but they were not there. They had left, right? And the neighbor told me that they had relocated. And he said, some months prior to me driving past the house and seeing him outside taking care of his lawn. So there was 7 years that I did not know where Judy was, right? The lady I called mother growing up, okay? There was a 7-year span where I did not know where she was. Okay, in that 7 years, I cannot tell you the number of times I audibly heard her call my name. Audibly heard her call my name. And I'd be like, what? Right? I have no doubt in my mind, in those times, she was either going through something, wondering where I was, asking the sperm donor where I was, because he knew. He wouldn't tell her because he wanted me to disappear, because he took the wife, because he was running scams on me, probably taking an inheritance from me, whatever he was doing. Okay? And so The clairsenses are extremely important. And again, as you ascend more and more, these things become more and more awakened. I can tell you for sure my taste buds have changed so much, right? I needed to get some change this morning. And so I went into the store and I just bought a candy bar, right? I bit into it and I was like, like it was so ridiculously sweet. I was like, I threw it out. I threw it away in the trash. I was like, whoa. He goes, oh man, it was a Milky Way, by the way. I was like, wow, that is just, and because my taste, they're changing, right? I bought chicken the other day, right? Again, I don't eat fried chicken often. I buy fried chicken because that's something that my ancestors like. They like yellow flowers also, like me. Or at least I like sunflowers. They like yellow flowers. The color yellow, they like. But yeah, I'll end up throwing, the majority of that out because I don't eat that. So I really do it for them. I had a couple of pieces and that's it, and yeah. So, you will recognize those things and recognize those things, right? Honor those things. Your taste buds changing, your appetite, your palate, whatever. You're like, all of a sudden, I don't like that dress. All of a sudden, I don't like those shoes. All of a sudden, give it away. Just bless somebody up. Just whatever that is, because whatever that is, it all matters to Most High, down to the intricacy of you, down to the very first visible hair on your head. It all matters to him. It all matters. Okay? So your kryptonite, okay? Escapism. As someone with such a vivid imagination, you often retreat or reverie. Notably when life leaves you disappointed and disillusioned. Yes, after recognizing the illusions, I can tell you again, it's been 15 months and I am not complaining. To me, it's been awesome and I've needed every single day of it. I've needed every single day of it. Every day I've needed. Every day. Okay? And so when the age of Aquarius opens up for me, meaning that door for me to finally go out and be active and all of that, once again in society, I look forward to that too. And this time has forever changed my life, and there's no doubt about it. Forever changed my life. And that situation with the twin flame, forever changed my life. And no question, I'll be writing a book on it. And so, with your exceptional sensitivity, you're often flooded with feelings. As a result, you may seek substances, activities, or behaviors that help you either tune out or make things seem infused with an additional inspiration. And so, yes, I believe that is true for those who are still, when their things are not looking so bright and they kind of slide back into that low vibing energy a little bit. That's when this happens. I can tell you that I can have a drink or not have a drink, right? I could smoke something or not smoke something, right? It doesn't matter because I've gotten to a point to where if I do anything associated with that, I am not doing it for anything other than the relaxation of it, right? Other than just the enjoyment of it. I'm not using it as a coping mechanism. Okay? Right? Right? So it's New Year's weekend, right? So I'm not going out, obviously. The last time I went out for a New Year's was probably 30-something years ago, probably. It's been a long time since I've gone. I was in the military probably the last time I went out. And it was probably early on in the military, like at Fort Bragg or something. I don't even think I went out then. It's been a long time. And so, in fact, the last New Year's party that I remember going to, I went to with my daughter's mother. And I was I was in the military, but I was 20 maybe, and I came home and on leave or something like that, and that was like the end of 95 or something. Like, that was the last time I think I've ever gone out for a New Year's party. Yeah. Right? Because that's just not my thing. Now, if I wanted to celebrate something, I could go get me something. I drink that at the house. Okay. And so, escapism, right? But it's also important to remember that sometimes solitude is necessary. Pisces and every other zodiac sign. Sacrifices. Okay, here's another kryptonite for you, me, us. You're so sensitive that when others suffer, so do you. As an empath, yes, as an empath, you feel so compelled to help others, which can lead to giving away your resources, like my time, like my money, like doing tax returns for $50. Why? Because I feel sorry for them. And there's nothing wrong with giving. Again, I express how much I'm a giver. But you have to also know your value. You have to know your worth. And so what I wasn't doing was I wasn't knowing my worth. I was allowing everybody else to show me what my worth was. Eventually, they drug me through enough mud pits for me to, over enough barbed wire for me to wake up and realize, I don't need those kind of friends. Yeah, I don't need those kind of friends, right? So, yes, awesome. So sacrifice, but do not forsake yourself. If you are giving away yourself, meaning your expression of love towards someone else means you have to take away the love you give yourself, or take away from the love you give yourself because you're feeling obligated to your friends or somebody. No. And I can tell you, as an empath, I cry easily. I can tell you that for sure. I cry easily. Okay? Things are very touching to me, right? They are. That's why I get so pissed about unsolved mysteries and crimes against kids, and they go decades without being solved, and I understand science. Yeah. I understand all that bullshit, right? But if we had more intuitive people, if we utilize these people who are on the earth, the 144,000, maybe we could get some of this stuff solved without having these families wait 3, 4, 5 decades for something to find out that the person who unalived their 6-year-old daughter or son died 20 days after he did that to her. Do we really have to wait 40 years to find that out? Sorry, I get passionate. So yes, be aware of who you're giving to, what you're giving, and the truth of not giving away from yourself more than you should. Okay? Don't do that. It's okay. No is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. You can say no, and they will still be the same tomorrow. You can say no, and the sun will rise tomorrow. It's okay. Okay? Avoidance. Things may often be overwhelming to someone so sensitive, with even the most mundane tasks sometimes spurring an orchestra of feelings. Worry, regret, or fear that can stop you in your tracks. Okay? So don't be one that avoids. You may even see them as boring, a diversion from the flowing, dreamy space you prefer to inhabit. Okay? And so that's very true for me, and that's probably in large part why I prefer to be by myself. And again, that's not to say I don't want to be married. All I can do is leave that like this. If it's meant to be, it will happen. I am not forcing anything. I am not on a dating sites. I am not doing any of that. Because what I'm doing is I'm waiting for the contract that I signed in the ethers. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm not going out there to date just to date. I don't need a piece of ass. I don't need that. Okay? Nurturing strategies. Be in the flow. Those with the moon in Pisces are nurtured when they feel unstrained and can connect to a sense of flow. Give yourself space during a given day and don't schedule any activities. Just see what you are inspired to do at that moment. Feel a sense of flow in your body and the freestyle dancing. Turn on your favorite tunes and just see how your body wants to move. How many times have I recently mentioned what music does to us? Right? And that's a good and a bad, right? I mean, you could listen to depressing music, right? Like Sarah McLachlan's song for ACPA or whatever that organization is for the dogs or for the pets, right? And now I can't even remember the song. I can't even remember the song, which is good because it's a sad song, I guess. But right? Or when you're feeling depressed, down, and I've gotten better at this. I definitely was not. I was definitely one who would just sit there like, right? Because especially if I couldn't do anything physically, which as an adult I really shouldn't for legal reasons, right? Again, so I'm accountable to myself today. So they're not taking me to my parents, thank goodness. The police wouldn't take me there, right? They're locking me up. So it's good if I can just sit there, even if steam's coming out my eyes, ears, right? Whatever, right? And get myself to a place. I can't tell you how many times I've pulled myself up out of the mud just to turn on some feel-good song that was just, my human didn't want to do. But my man was like, you're a soldier. What are you going to do? You know you're going to lace him up. I hear you. I hear the complaints. I hear you. I know. But I know you're not going to give up. And I'm like, damn it. You know? And there's always that voice inside of me, and it's been there since I was a kid, and it's a drill sergeant. And that voice in me, it's in my face. And it's literally in my face. If you imagine a drill sergeant, he's in the cadet's face. And that drill sergeant's in my face, and his brown round is like bumping me in the forehead, right? And he's like, get back on you! Right? And that's just in me. I don't know what you call that. Kobe called it the Mamba. I don't know what you call that. But that is in me, whatever that is, warrior, soldier, whatever. It just is, okay? And so that's also why I'm relentless about what I do, and I'll do it by myself if nobody else will help me. I don't care, because I gave up pleasing men 2 years ago. You're a dreamer who's tapped into your dreams, both your aspirations for how you imagine life should unfold, as well as your highly orneric visions. Okay. Regarding the latter, your dreams can be a powerful portal to the inherent wisdom you carry. So I can't tell you how many prophetic dreams I've had about things happening. I had a prophetic dream about my friend Marcia. You've heard me talk about her. She's the one who, along with Steve. And by the way, let me say this. Let me retract my statement. Okay. Let me say this. Okay. If Steve was to stand in front of me, I would not swing at him. Okay. Not for fear, because he would lose. There's absolutely no question about that. There's no question about that. I'm a Tasmanian devil, Incredible Hulk. There's no competition there. So, and again, that's not against him. That has nothing against him. If it's man to man, hand to hand, but I don't have any anger or malice or anything towards him. I am disappointed in his inability to see the truth when the truth was shared with him. That disappoints me. It frustrates me because I followed this man, listened to him for 20 years. Okay? So that's why. So, Steve, no, I wouldn't. Okay? But I'm very disappointed in the lack of, first of all, your response to my email. He never responded to my email. And they're probably recognizing the truth now, because now the rumors are out. So now everything's starting to flow around. Now they're starting to see who the real evil demons are. Now he knows that he went to the land of the giants, and Most High sent him someone, a soldier out of the military who ETS'd and went straight into a different kind of war and slayed that giant. And I sent them an email and told them that was my 20-year mission there. Now it's time for this earth angel to be on about his business, next mission, right? So, but dreaming. So with Marsha, I had a dream back in, I want to say 2008. And at some point I'll probably share a picture of her and her husband. And she passed again in 2020, January 28th. And so I remember I had a dream in 2008. And this dream was a picture of her with this Spanish or Hispanic male, okay? And she's behind him. She's wearing this blue shirt. And so when she sends me this first picture of it, and I called her and I told her about this dream, right? We were very close, right? Shared dreams, whatever, right? I went and I told her, and we were not dating at this time. We dated for maybe 2 years, and then maybe a year and a half, actually. Yeah, maybe more like a year and a half. Yeah, maybe more like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I don't know. And so when I had the dream, I shared it with her, right? And the first picture that they ever took is that exact same picture that I saw in my dream. And she was like, yep, that is, yep, same one. Same guy, same haircuts. So they looked the exact same, the way they looked in that picture. And that was probably a year before they got married. I don't even know if they knew each other. I don't even know if they knew each other at that time. Right? The dreams about my father when I was growing up, and I'd be smashing his face in. We'd be in a boxing ring. We'd be out on the street. We'd be in the house. We'd be wherever. And I'd be smashing his face in. And I'd wake up apologizing profusely to Most High. I'm sorry, I love my daddy. Why am I having all these bad dreams? I don't want to hurt him. Oh, son, I'm talking to you. Oh, son, you will know. You are a child today. But one day, son, you'll be a mature man. And one day, son, you will understand why I showed you those dreams when you were 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You will understand why I was showing you those dreams. Because that day is now. Okay? I'm happy to say I was proud of, if he is truly my father, my natural father, if he really truly is, I'm happy to say I put him behind bars. And if he's not, I'm even more so happy. Okay? So dream. Dream a little dream with me. Not of me. So prayerful rituals. Those with Pisces moon have an air of soulfulness to them. They are nourished by the belief that they are connected to something greater than themselves. Add to that, you view the thoughts and intention infused actions have power. Yes, they do. And you can see why. Devotional practices may be nurturing. So I have a regular morning routine. Okay? Wake up, open my eyes. I definitely lay there for a little while. I don't get up right away. First of all, typically because I wake up at 5 o'clock or something in the morning. So I don't lay there or I don't get up right away. I lay there. I take in the day. I think about the dreams. If I'm kind of going back in myself, I'm going back over in myself, right? And then I get up, probably go to the restroom, and then I smudge or Palo Santo, right? Clear the energy from the evening, right? Right? My Florida water on my hands or what have you, right? On the top of my head, I also put Florida water on my crown. I do that. And so this is a regular thing for me. Okay? because I've come to realize that my Egyptian ancestors, my India, not Indian, India ancestors, they had these spiritual rituals that helped them to reach a higher spiritual ascended place, even though they were here in the natural. And so I definitely want to incorporate as many of those practices as possible, right? As well. Okay? Again, only the ones that are helping me ascend. I've never sent out a curse, a spell, or anything to anyone unless something was first initiated by the opponent. Never. I have no reason, and this is something I don't understand. I have no reason to sit around and just hack into people's accounts or figure out how to do that. You have nothing else better to do with your life. Again, I'm really trying not to use profanity so much. So not at all. That's probably not going to happen, but not so much. So you're trying to tell me that you are 30-something, 20-something, 15, 16, 30, 40, 50, 60. You have nothing else better to do with your time than sit there and hack into people's bank accounts, hack into their email. You have nothing else better to do with your life. Yeah, they don't know why they're here. That's why they do those things. Okay? I have no reason. When I can say I don't hate the individuals who have done the egregious things they've done against me, I don't hate the twin flame, right? I can truly say I don't want anything to do with her. I don't hate her, okay? But I don't want anything to do with her, okay? There's a difference because there are boundaries today. Before I didn't have those boundaries like we read about earlier with the Pisces. We just kind of giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and nurturing, over-nurturing and over-nurturing and over-nurturing, hoping we get that energy back. You're not going to give it back. You're not going to get it back. Okay? Because if you see they're not giving it back, that's already your indication that it's time to bounce. It's time to go. Okay? All right. Seek higher ground. All right? So, stress spotlights. Boundary issues. Ding, 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 ding. Are tricky for those with a Pisces moon. After all, as you sense that everything is inherently connected, where you begin and another ends can be unclear. And to this, that you're a psychic sponge, yes, able to readily sense the subtle energies eddying around you. Okay, and it's easy to understand how many often become flooded with feelings of disquietude. So, again, I just spoke the word boundaries, and confirmations are so beautiful. I just spoke the word boundaries, and then I pick up the book, and it says boundary issues. I mean, it's just I'm being honest. I had no boundaries, and so people just ran over me like I was the blacktop. Okay? Or asphalt. That was not a pun intended. I'm not black. I'm brown. Yeah, I'm brown. My eyebrows are black. My hair is black. My eyelashes are black. Okay? My facial hair is black. Some of it's gray. So, health conscious. Feet. I had this problem since when I went into the military. My feet were already probably pretty bad when I went into the military for the flatness of them. And also growing up, I had problems wearing shoes that were just like penny loafer type of shoes that were slip-ons, because my instep was the arch at front of my foot. The arch is a little steeper, and so those shoes always hurt my foot. And so I learned it's hard for me to wear slip-on shoes like that. They have to be lace. They have to be lace, latch, or they have to be something. It's tough for me to wear just slip-on shoes. But my feet, I actually received disability, VA disability, because of my feet. And so they only got worse after I went to the military. And so now the heel spurs and all, like my heels are really, 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 those are really, really bad. Just from walking, because you're taught to walk heel to toe. And so as you're walking, your heel is constantly hitting the ground, right? And so my feet were already bad when I went in, because of the flatness of the arches. They just were. And so, yeah, that I already know. I don't even know what this is going to say, but I already know that for me, yeah. At first blush, it may seem surprising that the feet are connected point to the earth. No, not really. Are governed by Pisces, more known for its head in the clouds disposition. It's actually quite perfect that the soles, S-O-L-E-S, are connected to your soul, S-O-U-L, full sign. Okay, soulful sign. Since staying grounded is so important for manifesting the dreams and visions that are essential to you. Okay, and so my feet, again, we have chakras on our feet. So one of our left foot, I want to say it's the left foot that has the organ sensors on it. So like your left foot, there are literal sensors on your foot for kidney, liver, heart, pancreas, right? On the bottom of your feet. True story. Your right foot, if I'm getting this correct, it might be the other way around, but I'm almost certain I'm getting this correct. On your right foot are the chakra points that are in your body and around you. So the chakras you have 114 of them. They are all around you. Some internal, some external. They're all around you. Okay? And so with that, sometimes what I will do is, if I'm not able to get outside because of the weather, or maybe I'm just not up to going outside, I don't know. Maybe I'm directed not to go outside. And so the sage I will take, right? And when I'm smudging, and I will allow the sage smoke, right? And I will hold it, right? Close, don't burn yourself. Don't burn your soul, right? And right? And that's another way that I ground myself when I'm not able to walk outside into the grass. Okay? And so, yeah, so important. Your grounding generally, right, is so important. But your feet are interesting because, again, we typically just use them to walk on, or use them to walk with. But there's much more to them than that. Wearing shoes with good arch supports and not overdoing it with stilettos is key. Well, I don't have that problem. For avoiding conditions such as blisters, plantar fasciitis, I think I'm saying that right, yeah, and bunions. All right, so foot care, Pisces moon, foot care. This one's running, this is probably going to be the longest one. It's the last one, so of the 12 zodiacs for the series. But I already knew this sign and Sagittarius sign, Leo sign, I already knew, because these are my top three. I already knew I was going to have tons of examples to share, whether embarrassing, shameful, good, whatever. I knew I was, because sure, I've done shameful things. What am I have no reason to, I'm not going to discount my honesty or downgrade my honesty because I've done something shameful. I'm not going to do that. All right, so now we are on the sun-moon side. So we are looking at Aries and Pisces. Pisces in the sun-moon for all 12 positions, and then obviously the other 12 zodiacs. Okay, or 11. You're a champion, Aries, Pisces. You're a champion with a heart of gold. When you let your inspirational musings guide your movements, your dreams can more readily become reality. With your Aries sun, sometimes you like to spearhead actions, while with the Pisces moon, at other times you're quite satisfied to go with the flow. I'm going with the flow right now. Taurus, Pisces. With your Taurus sun, you love navigating through your five senses, and with your Pisces moon, you're also able to intuitively move through the world given your strong sixth sense. You are a doer and not a dreamer, with an approach to life that blends together the practical, and the emotional. Gemini, Pisces. With your Gemini sun, learning is important to you. With your Pisces moon, the realms in which you're interested include understanding the moves, touches, and what moves, touches, and inspires others. Within you lives the eternal student and forever dreamer, which when aligned can become the healing and art that inspires others. Cancer, Pisces. You have a natural aptitude to tune into the feelings circulating both around and within you. Maintaining boundaries, notably with your family, some key friends, right, is key to your happiness. As a Cancer sun, your home is important, and your artistic Pisces moon can help you make it a magical, nurturing space. All right? And so, Leo, with your self-expressive Leo and your... let me change the light here for 1 second. I cannot cooperating or something here. Okay, so Leo moon, or Leo Pisces. With your self-expressive Leo sign and sun and your muse-connecting Pisces moon, you can be quite creative, apt to drive into the sea of artistry at a moment's notice. Okay, so I remember back when, and I think I was going to mention this point over, and I got rabbit trailed onto something else. I remember back in 2009 when someone very close to me spiritually passed, and in fact, it's Steve's mother-in-law, she was such a key, such a key, a literal key to that place, to that house. Everyone was for sure she was going to be cured. She was dealing with cancer. Everyone was sure she was going to be cured. All of us. I guarantee you, everybody, the entire house. Everybody thought she was going to be cured. No question. Nobody up until that time in our house. I think maybe one other person had passed in the church in the 10 years, right? One other person had passed, and I know she was a mother of a member someone who wasn't. I'm not sure how key of a person she was. No, I take that back. There was two. I believe the other lady name was, I want to say Sandy, but I also know two Sandys who passed. So, but anyway, I remember when she passed, I definitely felt a spiritual connection to her. Okay. And when she passed, I remember I was living at an apartment in Sanford, Florida, and Marcia actually called me to tell me the news. And when she called to tell me, I remember it was literally like a movie. I literally just was like sliding down the wall. I was so devastated. I could not believe that, and I'm going to go from what my thought was, okay, back then, that we did not have the power to heal her. Or she didn't, right? But this is what I know today, right? Is that time is an illusion, the natural time. We have a watch so that we can meet each other here on the 3D, right? So that if I say 1 o'clock and you say 1 o'clock, we both know we're talking about the same 1 o'clock. And you're not talking about 1 o'clock in India because we're looking at okay, your clock says 1:30, mine says 1:30, let's meet at 3:30. Okay, boom, right? So the natural clock is only for man to organize his day. But time is an illusion. Okay? Time is an illusion. And for all I know, she might already be back here and well on her next physical mission here on Earth. She might be on another planet. Who knows? Okay? Her soul and spirit might not have returned back to another state other than its spiritual state. Maybe that's just where she is now. I don't know, right? But everybody was so sure of that. It was devastating to everyone when she passed. And she passed in Mexico, ironically, as I was driving through on August 4th, 3rd, right? She passed in Mexico. And I'm just now seeing that, right? And so she was there specifically for an experimental procedure. And so when that happened, I remember I was just really feeling devastated. I remember sitting in the chairs. I don't know how long before she passed. I remember holding her hand. The worship team was having practice. Her daughter at that time led the worship team. And they were having practice, and I just went. I wasn't on the worship team. I just went to sit, just to be a part, just to listen, you know? And I would do that. I would just go just to be, and she was there, right? And she was no longer singing on the worship team, I don't believe, at this time. She just came over to me, right? Or I walked over to her, I don't remember, right? And she just held my hand, and we talked for a couple of minutes, and yeah, you know, a dove for 7 days, a dove, no lie, a dove stayed outside. I lived in Regatta Shores Apartments in Sanford, Florida, off of Lake Monroe. A dove was outside the apartment on the screened-in side of the porch for 7 days. For 7 days, a dove was right out there. No lie, right? And I picked up oil painting when she passed. And so this Pisces, it spoke about how certain situations can push you into things, right? And discovering new things, right? Because I was so certain that she was going to be physically healed and go on to live life with us here in the 3D, that when it didn't happen, I went back and was like, what did I miss? What did we miss? What did we miss? What did we miss? And I was literally asking him, what did we miss? What did we miss? Why were we hoping for this? And you could have told us that, what, right? I went and I had all those conversations with Most High. I sure did. Right? I sure did. So recognizing those moments and not being afraid to be by yourself, not being afraid to go and to venture into new things. Again, this is for all signs. It's so important. It's so vital. And I will say this. So about that house in Sanford, they are certainly a bit more progressive than most places. Okay. So I don't know if they still do it, but they used to do yoga. I don't know any other church in the world that does yoga or has yoga classes or whatever, right? Because that's viewed as so taboo for church. When really, if the church did do that, maybe they'd find out that what they're spewing from their mouth from the pulpit is just a bunch of lies and stuff that they heard their great-grandparents say, or their grandparents say, or their dad who was a preacher, or their whatever, right? It's just regurgitated, right? So they are certainly, and that's why I went in 2003, they certainly were far more progressive and aggressive spiritually than any religious place that I had been. Even though that's religious too, it's non-denominational, but it's religious too. Okay? Because they expect you to be there every week. Right? Yeshua never said you had to go to church every week. He said, forsake not the assembling of yourselves together with like-minded people. So if I have a conversation with Billy Carson, we're kind of like-minded. I have a conversation with Esther Hicks, we're kind of like-minded. I said Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks. Okay? If I have a conversation with her, we're right? We are not forsaking the assemblies of ourselves. If I have a conversation with Les Brown, I'm not forsaking the assembly of myself. Why? Because he speaks on what I speak of, but he speaks on the encouragement from the natural space. And mine is coming from a spiritual space to bring about the manifestation of who you are in the natural. Okay? Right? So, Virgo Pisces. your strive to be of service to help better the lives of others. With your Virgo Sun, you can craft solutions that address the concerns to which your compassionate Pisces Moon is attuned. Among your wide spectrum skill set is your ability to see both the different and the similarities alive at once in any system. Okay, Libra, Pisces, when it comes to relationships, you're a magic maker. Others are really attracted to you as they sense you truly care about them. Both your harmony revering Libra Sun, and your Pacific Pisces Moon cherish peace. While this helps you create beauty, it may also make you conflict avoidant at times. Conflict avoidant. Okay. And Scorpio, Pisces, your approach to life is to embrace the belief that there is more than what meets the eye. With your deep driving Scorpio and your soulful Pisces Moon, you love swimming into the deep of the numinous. Yeah, that's right. Understanding your own motivations and helping others to do the same is a stellar healing power you have. And again, that's what I'm here to do. I share what I learn. Right? I could have 2 students in the chairs, no students in the chairs, or 500 students in the chairs. The word that I say is going to be the same. Okay? I am here where I am by myself. There's no one here with me. Okay? But I talk as if I'm standing in front because that's just the amount of people. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Am I trying to fill a stadium? No, I'm not trying to fill a stadium. I'm trying to speak to those who only need to hear. And if that's 2 people, then let it be. Today is only 2 people. Right? Sagittarius, Pisces. You're a visionary on a mission. Hello. With a philosopher who loves making sense of non-mundane matters. Your eyes are wide open and take a spectrum of insights. With your exploratory Sagittarius Sun and your mystical Pisces Moon, you want to be unbound by constraints so that you can feel a greater sense of flow. Yep, I'm going to say amen to that. Capricorn, Pisces. While some people just envision fields of dreams, you've got the know-how to build them. You've got the winning combination of being able to marry pragmatism and imagination. When your hard-working Capricorn Sun has you bordering on burnout, that's important to watch. Trust your Pisces Moon to know how to invite relaxation into your life. Okay? It's always important for us to take the time to relax and recuperate when we need to do that, because if we don't, our bodies will tell us that through a stroke, a heart attack, or some other physical means, our bodies, or illness, dis-ease, your body is not at ease. Okay? So it will tell us one way or the other. Whether we take that hint or not, it's up to us. Aquarius, Pisces, sometimes you feel you're swimming in a different sea than others. Between your future forward Aquarius Sun and your no bounds Pisces Moon, you can perceive things that others don't. You're an empathic, altruistic who dreams up ways to make the world a better place. Okay? I've definitely learned a lot about the Aquarius during this that I was really not aware of. During the reading of these zodiac moons. So Pisces. So finally, double Pisces. As a double Pisces, you love liminality, the space of the betwixt and between, where both nothing and everything seem to exist. You are enchanted by the things that appear filled with hope. Just watch what you don't get pulled, or just watch that you don't get pulled under by the waves of disillusionment, when life doesn't match up to your romantic visions. Okay? So I had to be careful of that. I went through a short period of time when I was going through my dark night of the soul, maybe even a little after, when I was like, F women. Yep. And I wouldn't treat a woman badly. I would never do that. No matter how much someone treats me bad, I'd never turn that around on someone else. I could have a bad phone conversation or a serious phone conversation and pissed off phone conversation on the phone with someone else. Someone else calls me and I'm like, hello. Because that conversation has nothing to do with them. I'm not carrying my emotions and you know what I mean? I'm not doing that. Or at least I try not to. Today, obviously, no. The complete healing has occurred. Right? So I don't hold anything against women. And ironically, that's the second time in this lifetime that I've gone through that. The first time was when the first wife sent me the letter saying that she didn't want to come to Germany with me because the sperm donor and his demonic cohorts, those women, convinced her to be a part of their cult. Okay? And at that time, I was like, you know what? F women. I'm going to use them for one thing. And that didn't last very long because that's not my heart. Right? That's not my heart. So that didn't even go anywhere. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't really want to do that. That jeopardizes me. That jeopardizes my health. That does all kinds of things. I didn't even know about chakras back then. But I know I'm not a player. I know I'm not a hoe. I know I'm not like, that's not me. I'm not like that. Dedicated man. I am a one man kind of woman. One woman kind of man. Whatever, right? That's how I am. One is enough. You're talking 3, 4. Sure. I don't know how they keep up with them. I really, really don't. I don't have time for that. Life is far too short, no matter how long you live, and far too precious. Okay? So anyway, this has been extra long, Pisces. I do again. I am sorry, and yet I really do hope I shared some extra things with you this time because I have more experience as a Pisces, because it's in my top 3, than I do any of the other signs, specifically because it's my ascendant sign. Okay? And so, yeah, there was a lot in me to share with that particular one. So hopefully, in addition to what I read from the Complete Guide to Living by the Moon, which is written by Stephanie Gailing, by the way, in addition to that, sharing the good, the bad, and ugly about my own personal experiences. And again, those things are an open book. You can ask me anything they want. They can ask me anything they want to. Right? I have the option of answering it, but generally I don't have anything at all to hide. Now, if it's a too personal of a question, then I don't have to answer it. But I mean, generally speaking, I don't. Because I know that's why I went through what I went through, is to be a demonstration. To share with the world, to help the world heal the way that I healed. So, thank you so much for listening. Again, you have been tuned into The Encourager. My name is Nehru. This was the last and final of the 12 zodiac signs for Living by the Moon series. Hopefully, if you listened to your zodiac sign, you enjoyed the information and found some value in it. Okay? Again, thank you so much. Subscribers, new listeners, returning listeners, thank you so much for your faithfulness, your dedication. And yes, as always, be encouraged. Talk to you soon.